in the year 2000 / late 90s, like 1999. It came from a style called clowning. It was born in South Central Los Angeles. Now originally, clowning is very similar to Krump. It shares quite similar basics from the original style of Krump. Krump's now evolved. But it started with stomps, chest pops, and arm swings. The creators of Krump, Taters and Miho, they were in a clowning crew. Clowning is it's quite similar, but it's more about making other people smile, making other people laugh. Now Krump evolved throughout the years. It started off as a very, very wild style, very, very crazy, very wild. If you look when it first started, there was loads of different pioneers in Krump. You have Lil C, Miss Prissy, loads of pioneers over the years. But Tight Eyes has stayed very consistent in trying to level up the style and evolve the style to what you see today. So it was very much coming from a street place or a street mentality. It's a true street dance. So in terms of actually having basics, they had the basics and understood them. But with Tight Eyes staying consistent within the dance, he was able to hone the basics and be able to make it presentable, have a formula behind it that can actually be taught, can be grown, can be evolved. The nature of the style is a battle. That is the nature of the style. Storytelling as well. You can have all your foundations, the chest pops, the stomps, and the arm swings and the jabs. You can have all of them, but without your feeling underneath, it's not Krump. It's a storytelling style, so it matches naturally with storytelling. I like to say that Krump has more in common creatively with a contemporary dance than it does with hip hop dance, because there's always a story. Even if we're battling and freestyle and we have to tell a story, we have to be in what we call character. Again, it's another thing that you have to have while you Krump. Your movements can be perfect, but without your character, doesn't exist. Now your character in Krump is your why, it's your intention. Now we have concepts, which is our what, it's our thing that we're doing. Now we have our character to help to emphasize or tell the story of our concept, so to speak. And you can find these type of techniques, maybe explained in different ways, all throughout different dance theatre techniques, throughout contemporary theatre techniques or whatever. You'll always find a very big link. Now, I discovered Krump because when I first came into dance, it was at a time where YouTube wasn't big. It wasn't big at all. It was just kind of on its way out. The way was to try and look on YouTube and see what you could see and try and learn that way. I was also going to college and studying ballet and contemporary at the time, but I was drawn more towards street dance and the street dance style. So when I started to see this thing called Krump, it was raw, it was aggressive, it was powerful, and I saw that these people were going through something. They were really, truly expressing something. There wasn't any resources. I can't say much. There was no resources to actually learn and actually understand the foundations and the basics. I used to look at different videos and see the common denominator. Like, okay, so he's stomping, he's hitting his chest, and he's doing that, and he's doing that. The big catalyst, I think, for me actually was when I saw Missy Elliott's video. Don't come with that song's called. But that's the track that Lil C was crumping in, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's he doing? I want to do that. So I started to look at different videos and stuff, and there was a site called crumpkings.com back in the day where Tight Eyes and a few of the other pioneers used to battle on and stuff. So I used to watch them and then go and imitate and watch and imitate and watch and imitate. And over the years, it was the same thing really, just imitation. That's the only way I could do it, was to just do it. With Krump, it's the type of thing you can't necessarily kind of formularize too much. You have to feel it and you have to do it. You have to get into it. Now, the way that I was able to know what I was doing was right was from attending certain workshops and either saying, okay, that was wrong, which I was doing, or that was right. So a lot of the things I was like, okay, that validates that, that's wrong, that's right. Take things out, put things back in, so on and so forth. So my journey into Krump Theatre. I like theatre. I was in different companies and different theatre companies, hip hop theatre companies and stuff like that. It was Nation, White Blue, Impact. Doing performances with them, and also started to try and create my own work. So for me, it was okay, let me look at the tools I have, let me look at what I can use to create my own work. I have a story I want to tell, I have this one, say this one, say this one, say what tools do I have, what's in my repertoire. So Krump was my main style at the time. So I was obviously focusing on that. I was looking at different videos, I was labbing, I was going to different workshops. This was the thing that drew me close. So that was kind of my, how can I say that, my true voice. I knew different techniques, but this was my true voice. So I thought, you know, if I need to say something, I need to speak my true voice. So I started to marry the two and bring theatre techniques and Krump techniques together. and started to, put my work out there in that way. Boom, boom, pop out. Welcome to Krump 101. So, firstly, before we start any movement, we want to work on our stance, yeah? Then we're going to take our feet, turn them out, boom, bend those knees ever so slightly. And you're going to take your chest back, not too far back, just nice and relaxed. I'll show you from the side, just taking that sternum nice and relaxed back. So let's make sure that when we can move around, we have a relaxed body, so it's not tense back, nice and relaxed. This is our Krump stance. Feet turned out, legs slightly bent, chest and back. Now we're going to work on our stomp. So your stomps are for keeping your timing and changing the rhythm in Krump. So you can keep it quite regular. So if we listen to that beat, we can stomp whenever we want. We can keep it the same rhythm, keep that timing, or you can start changing the rhythms. It's up to you what you want to do. Now I'm going to show you 2 basic stomps. There's 3 stomps. I'm going to show you 2 basic stomps today. First one, straight up and straight down, nice and easy. We're going to think about keeping the body center. Make sure that we're landing, we stomp, whole foot flat, not heel first, not toe first. We take it up, take it down, and that's our stomp. Again, take it up, take it down, and that's our stomp. Try the other side. 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. Do it again. 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. Good. Now try the other side. 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. Good. So that's our first stomp. Now we're going to go with our second stomp. Now your second stomp is called a scoop. Now it's a scooping motion. You're going to straighten the leg out, bend it in, and then take it down. We're going to change the counts to go and 1. Now you can use the body a little bit here, so we get a little bit of groove and movement through the body as well. Make it a lot bigger this time. We're going to go and 1. Yeah, so slowing it down a little bit, straight leg, bend it in and take it down. Try and get the leg to at least 90 degrees before you bend it in. Think about scooping up to the sky and keeping the foot flexed, yeah? Let's go, and 1, and 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and lovely. Make sure you're keeping that weight center. If you land over to this side, then we can't scoop properly to that side. So we're keeping the weight over the leg that stomps. Over the leg that stomps, try and get a little bit of a groove in there. Yeah, so those are the 2 stomps. We're gonna go up and down and then scoop. Yeah, so we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, and lovely, good. And from there, just to drill it a little bit more, you're gonna go 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now you're going to create your own rhythm and your own timing on your 5, 6, 7, 8. And that can be whatever time you want. It can be 5 and 6, 7, 8, whatever you want, yeah? 5, 6, 7, 8, we go. 2, and 3, and 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. Now with your chest pops, there are 3 different types of chest pops in Krump. Now your first one is called a breathing pop, and it's not actually a pop at all. It's all about thinking about that motion of breathing, inhaling and exhaling. So if you make sure that our posture is right, so our chest isn't here, our neutral position in our chest is back here. Take the chest up, inhale, take it as big as you can, and then take it back down. Boom, lovely. Now with this first chest pop, it's about exaggerating the body, making it a little bigger than it really is. Also use the breathing pop to help to move the body in different directions, yeah? So now with this one, we can slightly cheat a bit and use the rest of our body, ever so slightly, as long as this is the focus, this is the primary mover. So bend your knees slightly. I want you to use your legs slightly and use your body a little bit more with this one. So we're gonna take it up on 1 and take it back down, good. Use your legs again, 1, take it back down, good. Let's do 4 of them now in a row. 5, 6, 7, 8, we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, excellent. So making sure that even though the shoulders do move, we're not making the shoulders primary. The chest is primary, the shoulders help it out. Chest is primary, shoulders help it out. Good. Now with our snatch chest pop, it's about being sharp and being fast. We hear it sharp and hard. We're trying to think about impact and not impulse. We're not contracting and moving, but this time we're gonna go to a barrier and contract it. So stay in that stance again, make sure the chest is back. We take it on an upwards diagonal, contract the top 2 abdominal muscles. There we go, and we're contracting as we get there. So we're not contracting first. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, try again. 5, 6, 7, 8. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when you do your snatch, you don't want your shoulders to move. We're trying to isolate and cut everything off. So not like the breathing pot, you use the legs. This time with a snatch, cut everything else off, bang, 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 and keep it sharp. Next up, we're gonna go for our chest pop for power. So now we bring our shoulders involved. Now in Krump, your shoulders are for power in terms of your arms, yeah? So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do our regular chest pop up. You can either do a breathing pop or a snatch forward first. Isolate, just the chest. Then the shoulders are gonna come up and round. They're gonna hit forward, and then they're gonna come back down. Yeah, so your shoulders are going up, round. Imagine there's a barrier there, hit it, boom, and then come back round and down, yeah? Try a bit faster. 5, 6, 7, 8, and good, didn't give you the counts. The counts there are gonna be and 1, yeah? So you're gonna go up and shoulders go round, 1, yeah? Nice and big. Here we go, 5, 6, 7, 8, and boom. 6, 7, 8, and boom. Lovely, perfect. Now we're gonna do all 3 chest pops. We're gonna do our breathing pop first, then our snatch, and then our chest pop for power. The time is gonna go 1, snatch, 2, chest pop for power, and 3, yeah? 1, 2, boom, yeah? Your chest pop is like your heartbeat of your Krump. Here we go, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, boom, 6, 7, breathe, snap, boom, boom, 6, 7, breathe, snap, boom, boom, 6, 7, breathe, snap, boom, boom. Okay, so next up, we're gonna go for our arm placements. So if your arm placements in Krump, it's all about having a picture with no blur. Now, the reason we have our arm placements is so that we have positions that we can go to in between our jabs and arm swings, that we can show that we have control over our arms, yeah? So with our arm placements, we're gonna stick with just 4 positions for now, but when you do your placements in Krump, they can be anywhere you want, yeah? 4 positions we're gonna stick with as our template. We're gonna go in, then we're gonna go to the side, we're gonna go up, if you've got space, and then we're gonna go down, lovely. Again, we're gonna go in, we're gonna go to the side, we're gonna go up, we're gonna go down. Now, you gotta think what your hands are doing at the end of these placements. These are different hand gestures we've got in Krump. You've got your speech hands, index finger out, thumb out, rest of the fingers are tucked in. This is all about communication in Krump, gestural movement, how we move and how we speak through our dance, yeah? It's about gestures, gestures. Your open hands are smack hands, for smacking things and making yourself look bigger. Your fists are for power, and you know your shoulders are for power as well, so you marry those 2 together. Your fists are for power and are for grabbing things, pulling them in, grabbing things, okay? Now, you can have any of these hand gestures as we go to these 4 positions. Let's try it with music. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, sharper, 5, sharp, 6, sharp, 7, sharp. Again, keep going. 1, keep 2, keep it 3, keep it 4, keep it 5, keep it 6, keep it 7, keep it 8. Excellent, excellent. So now we've got the hang of that. We're gonna try it double time. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Try not to be too tense. Try and let the lats do the work. Faster. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely, and relax, and relax. So now we've got arm placements, we're gonna work on our jabs. So your jabs are about speed and ferocity. Now, keep your hands in your speech hands. We're gonna jab out and try and hold out for as long as possible. Always come back in before we go out for another jab again. But we're trying to spend as much time straight out as possible and as least time in as possible. So if it goes out, in, out, in, out, in, out. We're gonna do 2 8s on the upwards diagonal, 2 8s to the side, 2 8s on the down diagonal, and 2 8s forward, then straight over to the other side, the same thing, the same thing. Let's try it with some music. Arms are up, in 5, in 6, in 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it, hold it, hold it. 2, 3, 4. My bad. 6 to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3. Sharper. 5, 6. Down, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the front. To the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. On the other arm now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and put it back. Now also with your jabs, you have to make sure that jabs are about speed. So with speed in Krump, it's about downwards from the elbow. So your forearms are for speed. We know shoulders are for power. Now we use our forearms for speed. So as we jab, we don't want to try and use the whole arm and shoulders here. We want to try and hold that arm placement in place and extend from the elbow. So it makes it a lot easier to get the speed up when we're throwing our jabs. So next up, we're going to work on your arm swings. We're just going to work on one type of arm swings for now, just your quick arm swings. And that's about going out and then coming back in. So it's the opposite of your jabs, which are about going from in to out. Your quick arm swings are about out to in. Now, as we know, speed is downwards of the elbow, the forearm. So it's the same principle with these quick arm swings, yeah? Your hands can be wherever you want. For now, it might be easier to go from open hands to closed hands. Now, you're going to make a full kind of a half circle, should I say, little semicircle. We're going to take your one hand first, goes over to the round, boom, then pull it back in, then take out, boom, and pull it back in. Now, as we do it, it's like an elastic band. It snaps back in, yeah? So we're thinking about out and back in, out and back in, yeah? So snapping back in is where the emphasis is. Now, to drill it, I want to go from one hand, I want to go to the other hand, I want to go both hands. The next count's going to go 1, we're going to go 2, we're going to go 3, yeah? Now, even though it's about the downwards of the elbow forearm for speed, you can still use your body to help emphasize the point and help make it a bit more snappy. Like I said in my intro, Krump is about realness. It's about real intention. If I'm trying to swing, I want you to imagine you're trying to throw something away. If you were throwing something away, you wouldn't just do this. We'll just say it's not just a dance move. Make it a real intention. Put the body behind it. You'll really build the body up to throw it and swing it back. Let's try with some music. There we go. 1, 2, 3, yeah? 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, and again. 1, 2, 3, and again. 1, 2, 3, and again. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. So there's one thing missing from our foundation and our basics, and that's our character. Now, you can have all your basics, your stomps, your jabs, chest pop, absolutely perfect. But if you have no performance and no intention behind it, it means nothing. Your character in your Krump is your intention, it's your why. Now, you want to try and take on a persona when you Krump, because when we're doing that, now you want to try and take on a persona when you Krump. Now within our movement, Krump is a storytelling dance. It has concepts. Now your concepts in Krump, that's your what. Your character is your why. So you put these two things together to help to tell your story. Your movement should think about building in intensity. It's a story that builds in intensity. Sometimes it has short sentences, sometimes it has long sentences. But you should make sure that those sentences build up, boom, to a full stop. Now, however you build those sentences, that's up to you. That's whatever dance experience or whatever vocabulary you have in your movement repertoire and you can bring into Krump. The only thing is you have to make it buck. Now, buck is the feeling of Krump, or to describe something good in Krump. So as an example, if I wanted to do a bit of links and chains with my hands, if I was just doing this, 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 this. That's all well and good, but it's not buck. So I can do the exact similar, I don't know why I did a freestyle, exact similar type of thing within the feel of Krump. And what I did was I ended the sentence, boom, with something big. You think about having those sentences with exclamation marks at the end. You don't want your sentence to just run off and, there you go, have a full stop behind it, yeah? So to recap. So to recap, you take whatever your dance move is and you bring it into your dance moves. So to recap, you take whatever your dance vocabulary is and you put it into the feel of Krump and you integrate the basics underneath. You want the basics to be your common theme underneath, but it doesn't have to just be basics. It's about you utilizing whatever dance knowledge you have, putting it into the feel of Krump and keeping the basics as your constant theme underneath. Now, the way we're going to be able to do that quite clearly is by using our character, our intention. So if I was to try and pick up something heavy or pretend I'm picking up something heavy, if my face was like this, you're not going to believe it's heavy. So what we need to do is put some character, some intention behind the movement. Yeah, so it's naturally there, but it can't just be the face. That's nothing. If you were naturally trying to pick up something heavy, your body movement will change. And because it's Krump, we exaggerate that. We take whatever theme we have, whatever concept we have, and we exaggerate it. Now, the way we do that is through our character. My character is big discipline. I've got 3 different types of characters in terms of the discipline branch and umbrella. The first one is about, I'm not trying to beat you in terms of a battle format. I'm not trying to beat you for any bad reason. I'm trying to beat you to educate you. So it's an educator, it's a teacher. It comes from my type of personality. So I would have movements in my movement vocabulary. There'd be a lot of points. Sometimes it's about writing on the chalkboard, but again, not just writing on a chalkboard, making it bark, having that feeling of Krump, integrating your basics underneath it, telling someone to sit down. Yeah, so it's thinking about how you can take that character, how you can take sometimes very pedestrian movements and make it bark. So UK Krump scene, it was when I first started, it was very, how can I say it? There was no UK Krump scene. There was a lot of UK Krumpers, but there was no crew. No crew existed when I started. That's how long I've been in it. There was literally 3 sessions. Not 3, there were 50p sessions actually that Kimberly J used to host. She's now a pioneer of the UK movement, and she used to hold these sessions, and then people just come from the dance community and will come and try and learn from each other, because again, it was kind of blind leading the blind. I think the only person that had actually learned from a US Krumper, there was 2 people. It was Kimberly J had learned from Lil C and Miss Prissy, and from her work for Madonna, and a man called Carlos, who sadly passed away recently. And he had learned from Theatr at the time. But the rest of us, a lot of us were seeing what we saw on YouTube and, you know, copying and pasting and just trying different things basically. So yeah, that was where it started. You know, different crews came about. Wet Wipes was the first crew in the UK, first pure Krump crew, and they pioneered a lot of things. I had another Krump crew called Radical. There's a crew called Alliance, and crews started to form. People started to, you know, get in their own little cliques and stuff. And you know, like anything, when stuff like that happens, there's different mentalities, different ways of thinking, and then there's clashes. But that's why it's good, because it's Krump, and Krump evolved from battle. So you know, you have an issue, you resolve it with a battle, and that happened a lot. The state of Krump now is amazing in comparison. Definitely amazing. It's a growing scene. It's a massively growing scene. You know, there's, again, same thing, there's always going to be issues, there's always going to be people that think Krump should just be pure and in the battle format and nothing else ever. And there's going to be other people who are going to, you know, pioneer it and want to see it grow, want to see it, you know, get to a higher level of being. It can do the battle stuff, it can do all that stuff, but it can also do everything else because we believe so much in the style. But I do think that now Krump, or the UK Krump scene, are starting to understand each other a little bit better. to know that those are your strengths, but all together you're pushing the same thing. So I take a step back and I look at it as someone who's older, who's been through a lot of it and can appreciate the newer generation doing their thing, and can also understand, you know, where it came from. It came from nothing over here, so it's amazing to see that it's grown to have multiple crews here, monthly sessions, different people have their sessions in different places, or, you know, that's an amazing thing to me. Okay, so now we know about our basics. We're going to start working for some advanced stuff now. So slightly more advanced, slightly more intermediate advanced stuff. So we know that our shoulders are for power. So these are some drills that we can do to kind of advance how we can use those shoulders. So because they're for power, it doesn't mean that it's always slow and big power moves. Sometimes me just moving to the side, if I want to stop my body here, I can use that shoulder to get a bit extra power through that stop. If I want to move the body to another side, use that power to get my body to the other side. So we're going to work on what we call jerking body movement, slightly more advanced movement now. You want to feel like someone's pulling your body to different sides, yeah? We're going to go over our drill. Our drill is going to go 1, we're going to go up on 2, yeah? We're going to go down on 3, we're going to go to the other side 4, then we're going to go up on 5, down on 6, towards the center, 7, and then up on 8. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're letting it go on that last 8, yeah? Feel like someone's pulling your body. So now I want you to integrate a bit of concepts in there, yeah? So I want you to feel like you're controlling your body, what we call an invisible prop. You're gonna put something in here, you're gonna, not exactly this way, whatever way you wanna do it. Grab it, twist it to one side. Then you're gonna make something push your chest or pull your chest up. Take it back down, up to the other side, back up, down, center, up. Yeah. Now it doesn't have to be strict in terms of moving exactly how I move, but we've got to think about how we can use our shoulders to help our power each side. Yeah. So we've got different directions of power, which we're going to work on next. So let's try the same thing now, jerking body movements to music. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, there we go. Now we're going to try it double time. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, whoa, again, 6, 7, 2, 2, 2, 2. There we go. Lovely. The next one we're going to work on, similar thing, shoulders for power now. We've got 4 different directions of power that we can use with our shoulders. Our first one, we're going to go up, so shoulders are going to come up. That's the primary. Think of this secondary, what can help your movement. Bring your neck and your neck down as your shoulders go up. That's your 1, good. Then you're going to take your shoulders down. And with your shoulders going down, what can help you, think about 2 like barriers or like tables either side of you. I want you to break them with your elbows to bring your shoulders down. Boom. So you've got a lot of power in there. So again, we go up, 1, take it down 2. Good, lovely. From here, you're going to take your shoulders back, chest forward. So contract your top 2 abs to get a bit of a chest pop in there. That's 3. Good. Then the shoulders go forward, chest comes back. 4. Yeah? So it's about primary movers and secondary movers. Something you can think of in your dance in general, but especially for Krump. What can help your intention behind that movement? What else can help? What's the other thing you can add that the audience can't necessarily see? Yeah? So again, we got 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the one. Yeah, again, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Let's try double time it now with some music. Do half time first. 6, here we go. 5, 6, 7, and we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double time, double time. 5, 6, 7, and continuous. Sorry. Double time with that. Go. There you go. Now we'll work on our hand gestures and how to change very quickly between them. Now when we're working with our arm placements in Krump, we don't need to keep our hands the same and then change them and then change them. We want to be able to change very quickly depending on what we need the hands for. And we can create slight kind of accents on the end of our hands, and we can just dance with arm or hand gestures if we wanted to, because that kind of adds another little bit of intricacy to our movement. Yeah, so we're going to keep the same format and template we had before with our arm placements. You're going to go in, you're going to go side, you're going to go up, you're going to go down, but we're going to cycle through our hand gestures first. Yeah, so as we go with this first one, we're going speech hands, open hands, fist, 1 2 3, then we go out. Same thing, speech hands, open hands, fist, go up, speech hands, open hands, fist, come down, speech hands, open hands, fist. Yeah, so we're going 1 2 3, we change on 4 5 6 7, we change on 8, 1 2 3, we change on 4 5 6 7, we change on 8. Keep that change nice and sharp. Make sure you're sharp on the change in hand gestures. Here we go. In 5 6 7 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5. Double time on the hand gestures. 1 2 3, hat 1 2 3, hat boom boom boom, hat boom boom boom, hat boom boom boom, hat boom boom boom, 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 boom boom boom. So now we're going to put together some of the foundations and basics that we worked on already. So this is just an example of how you can put them together. You can put them together in your own way. So I'm going to kick it off first with a stomp. You can kick it off if you want to do it with a chest, but it's up to you how you wanted to put it together. Now, first we're going to think about, we're going to stomp twice on the front leg or the... Now, first thing we're going to think about, we're going to stomp twice on the left leg. We're going to stomp on 1 2, 1 2, just your basic up and down stomp, 1 2. Chest go forward on 3 on chest pop, 3. Then we're going chest pop for power on the 4. Yeah, so it's a stomp stomp, 1 2, chest out, 3, shoulders forward, arms forward, 4. There we go, fist up for power, shoulders for power. That's on our 4. We're going to jump out to the side on 5 and. So we go 5 left hand and right hand. Then we take it into an arm placement, 6 and. Yeah, so again, we just done our 3 4, we jab it out. Remember to go into the chest first, and 5, and there we go. You come back in, 6, and then your last 2 counts are just going to go 7 8, 2 poses anywhere you want. 7 8, yes, 2 arm placements, but use your body to make it a little bit more dynamic. So rather than just 7 8, think about how you can use your body to emphasize the movements. Let's try again, nice and slow. 6 7 8, we go 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 and 7 8. Now make sure you're putting character behind it. We're going to try out some music. In 5 6 5 6 7 8 3 4 5 and 6 and So when you think about making sure you have an intro before you kick off with your main meat of the story, yeah? So intro first, your whole movement, stay up. How are you moving? How are you moving? We're gonna keep staying here for a while. Use your stomps, chest box, use your groove, dance to the music. In 6 5 6 7 and 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 and 7 8. There you go. We've touched on it already, but we always need to have character when we dance. And there's different ways that we can build our character, loads of different ways. Your character can be from a real life situation or real life kind of thing and then exaggerated, or it can be as creative as you want it to be. So me, myself, I've personally got 3 different characters, all ground out of 1. I've got the discipline character, which is the disciplinarian, the teacher, the person that isn't beating you because they want to hurt you or want to see you lose. They want to teach you. So I take kind of things from that movement to then develop my style and my way of moving and add to my movement vocabulary. So as an example, as a disciplinarian, as a teacher, there's a lot of points in my movement. So I might move around again, making it but though. I might point, tell people to sit down. I might write on a chalkboard. I might just carry myself with a certain air. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I move. It influences my style with loads of kind of sharp, jerky movements. I'm quite fast and quite jerky. Now the reason I do this in terms of the discipline character, it's like I'm writing on a chalkboard. You take that kind of that sharp movement, and then I put it into my body. So how my body moves and how I'm looking for my students, making sure everyone's paying attention. So you have loads of different focus points there. So sometimes your character can influence your style, but also the other way around, sometimes your style can influence your character. Now my second character is called the Sensei, and it's a mixture between a Jedi Knight and a martial arts sensei. It can be that crazy and that weird. It doesn't matter. Now with that one, I'm a lot more fluid, and I move a lot more fluid in my movements. There'll be sharp hits from here to there, but I want to be quite fluid. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I'm controlling the force. Yeah, as a Jedi master, I'm controlling the force and how I move. Yeah. And then I have kind of like an air about me that kind of keeps everything under control. And that style is a bit more abstract. So you can have loads of different types of style, and character is a bit more abstract. Your characters can be as abstract as you want them to be, or as real as you want them to be. My third character is the rod and the staff. And this is the most raw side of discipline. So this is not kind of teaching you or beating you to teach you, whatever. It is doing that, but at the same time, it's a bit more harsh. So this one is when I'm all out and I'm raw and I'm going off, and it's about power, and it's about a lot more aggression and kind of really getting to that heightened level of expression, and that's the rod and the staff. So sometimes your character can influence your style, sometimes your style influences your character. So there's different ways that you can develop your character. Number one way to develop it is to start with the realness, the realism of the idea first, and then you want to think about kind of over exaggerating it, and then you want to think about maybe then putting your dance, whatever given dance technique on top. In Krump, obviously, it's about making it buck after that. So it's not, when you say doing it in real 3 stages, it isn't like, okay, this, then that, then that. You've got to kind of do that all at once, but at the forefront of your mind is the realism, that real aspect. You want to make sure that it's coming from a real place. Like I said, it's real expression. So if I was trying to open a door, naturally, you turn the handle, you open it, you walk through. Think of it just that natural. Then you want to over exaggerate it, and then you walk through, and then we make it buck, boom, 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 and then you add that dance element in there. And lastly, yeah, so you want to try and really keep the foundational level, the realism of your idea, and you can build your character from that. Now, different tracks sometimes determine how your character will move, but like I said, if you keep it, if you keep that realism of the idea, or kind of the foundational, let's say, pedestrian movement of the idea, then whatever track plays, it's easier to adapt to, rather than thinking how I'm going to hit the beat. If you have that real kind of a pedestrian idea first, and then grow from that. So I'll give you an example of how you can develop your character with very natural movements. I'm going to take 3 random words. Let's say dog, car, top of my head, gym. Don't know where it came from. And we're going to just develop those words and develop a little story through my movement and through my character. No jabs, no chest pops, no arm swings, but keeping it bar. So that I've done it, I'm challenging you to do the same. Get 3 random words and tell a story. You can make them be long sentences, short sentences, as long as your story is a little paragraph that builds up in intensity. They can be longer or shorter, up to you. If you can't find a word, if you think it's too easy, you think of a word, get someone else to give you a word. It can be as abstract or as literal as you want it to be. So I want you to do an exercise on how we can create Krump as a movement language. Now, we already know we can kind of grow it from our character, but in terms of myself, if I'm like thinking of a theme for a piece or anything like that, like I said, you start with the basic movement first, the basic literal meaning of it, and then I think of how I can make it buck after. So, you know, sometimes it comes into play of thinking of physical theatre rather than dance. So before you're thinking about the dance element, thinking of that real element, that theatre element, that physical element, and then putting the dance on top. So an idea I want to give to you, I want you to think of a theme, whatever it is, whatever it could be, and I want you to grow that theme, I want you to try and develop a piece for that theme. First thing we can think about, I'm going to do 2 simple ones. I'm going to say push, I'm going to say pull. Now, it seems simple, but then you need to then go into depth with that. So when I say push, so you can just go, okay, push, how do I push something away? Push. Now, what is behind that? Maybe there's a bit of struggle behind it. Now I need to make it buck, maybe to put some Krump basics into it. Yeah, so that's a push. Same thing can go for the pull. Now, when we work into depth with that, why are we pushing it away? What is it there that we're pushing away? Is it something that we want? We don't really want to, claim it. It's something that we're scared of. Yeah, and why are we pulling it towards us? Is it giving us a struggle? Is it something that we want, that we like? So it's for you to try and really dive in and take whatever concept, whatever element you have, if you want to try and create pieces from it, and dive into it and kind of stretch out a bit more and really find the depth in it. And think about what Krump vocab can help to emphasize your point. So an example of how I've done this in the past, I choreographed, I was one of the 4 choreographers actually for East Wall, which was directed by Theatr and commissioned by East London Dance in 2018. And it was actually an amazing project working with a lot of young people. My whole thing about it was rebellion. We were fighting back against the system. We were coming to storm the tower. My story was that, there's a lot of execution that took place at the Tower of London. So we had the peasants, and we were focusing on the peasant revolt. So someone one of the members of the peasants had been executed, and the rest of the peasants were coming together to fight against the system, and they had enough and they're coming to storm the tower. So I'm going to just show you a quick phrase of movement and kind of explain where some of the moves came from. So our first one, we started off, our hands were splayed into smack hands, nice wide hands, making ourselves look big, and we're hitting into our head like so. This is a move in Krump vocabulary move called pat the dog. Now, the reason that we did this, it's kind of like you've had enough and you're spine against your head. But again, it comes from that natural movement. Then we think of what we can put behind it, what Krump movement we can put behind it. So we get that power from the shoulders, taking the chest forward and then back for more power. And that's how we get that frustration. It's a frustration. And then from there, we've had enough. We come back up and we're throwing it forward. Now these jabs, they're not thinking about just speed. We're kind of changing it slightly to add a slight bit of more power, to show a bit more defiance. We're pushing it towards someone. Again, it's not just a normal jab with nothing. We have a bit more of a gesture through the character in our body. Yeah, showing that we're really trying to fight back and rebel against you. It's directional, towards. So those are just a couple of examples of how you can, start to develop your movements to help make your point and keep Krump foundations and basics in there.